Hi, my name is Katie. I am a 200-hour registered yoga teacher. We are here today in my home studio, Intention Studio, and currently I do teach one class here at 3:30 on Sundays. So I wanted to offer today a few things to help ease some of that tension and tightness in the hamstrings. So we'll just get started. We're gonna shift into seated staff pose or Dandasana. We're gonna use a strap. I don't know about you, but I often am very tight in the hamstrings. So we'll start by flexing the toes toward the nose, bringing the kneecaps up, engaging the quads, lifting from the chest, drawing the belly button up and in, and then bringing the palms to either side of the body. So just getting these muscles warmed up and activated. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. One more deep breath in. Go ahead and relax the muscles and find your strap if it's close by. If you don't have one, if you're at home and you don't have a strap, a towel works really great, or a belt, anything to help add length to the arms so that you can reach your feet. So another thing to know is always placing the strap on the pads of your feet or down on the pads of your heels rather than the tendons in the arch of your foot. So we want to protect our bodies as much as possible. So just paying attention to little things like that. And as we do our forward fold here in Dandasana, our seated staff, we're gonna start by lengthening the spine. So lifting from the chest, drawing the belly up and in, reaching from the crown of the head. So long straight spine and drawing the tailbone down into the earth. Deep breath in. As you exhale, keeping that straight spine, begin to bend at the elbows, hinging at the hips, drawing the chest a little closer to the thighs. And maybe this is where you're at today. Maybe you can bend a little deeper into the fold. But for right now, we just want to keep a long straight spine. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And since you're at home, maybe you want to pause the video and stay here as long as you want. That's okay. And on your next breath, go ahead and round the forehead toward the knees. If you have access and can reach your feet, you can find a clasp the balls of your feet. And just let the arms rest alongside the shins, or if you want to keep hold of the strap, that's okay too. Your choice. And another thing to note, anytime you're extending the legs, is to notice the backs of your knees. I tend to hyperextend, so my heels will even come up off the mat. But we want to protect those joints as well. So maybe keeping a micro bend in the knees today feels best. On your next breath, come back to neutral, release the strap. You can set it aside for now. And then we're just going to shift our way into tabletop. Just for a brief moment, setting up for our low lunge. So bringing the knees to about hips width apart, place the palms directly below the shoulders, and then just step that right foot forward. So shimmy it up enough so that your heel is directly below your knee. And we're gonna draw the hips down, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders down. And if the floor is not quite accessible here in your low lunge, you can always place the blocks on either side so that you can reach the earth. We'll breathe here for just another moment. And the hips are square here. So we're drawing them down as we keep them square. When you feel ready, hinge at the hips, draw the tailbone straight back, take the bend out of the front leg and flex the toes toward the nose. So again, maybe it's not quite accessible to reach the earth or you want a little more stability, you can bring the blocks onto either side of the shin. So as we did before, we're gonna fold into this pose, but we wanna keep a long straight spine, so we're reaching up from the crown of the head, leading with the chest, keeping the round from between the shoulder blades. Flex the right foot. Deep breath in, and then begin to hinge forward. Whenever you feel ready, round the forehead toward the knee. Now notice how this feels different here as opposed to here. A few more rounds of breath. On your next breath, draw the tailbone all the way down to the left heel, kind of sliding that right heel back as you go. I always prefer to place the block underneath my sits bones here, but if it feels better to you and you have the access to draw the sits bone all the way down, feel free. I prefer the block. So we're gonna keep the right foot flexed. Again, long straight spine as you hinge from the hip, walk the palms forward. Here's another place too, where if you wanna add the strap for some length in the arms as you hinge. Whenever you feel ready, rise back up. Walk your palms forward, come back to your low lunge. And then we're gonna untuck the back toes, lift the back knee, send the right foot to meet the left, and come to downward facing dog. Draw the shoulders down, and then lift from the tailbone. So we're trying to create a long straight spine here. And then stretch out the hamstrings a little more here, bend into one knee and then the other, making this as deep or as shallow as you'd like. Maybe you want little movements, maybe you want bigger, slower movements. Notice what feels good to your body. Whenever you feel ready, come to stillness. And then step the left foot forward, coming back to that low lunge. I have some sensitivity in this knee, so something you always can do is unfold a blanket and place it underneath that back knee. And I try to avoid folding it too high or too thick. It's nice to have extra padding, but it can often create a little bit of imbalance when that back knee is super high up off the ground. So again, hips are square, we're drawing them down, reaching forward with the crown of the head, lifting the chest and drawing the shoulders down. In your next breath, shift the hips back, take the bend out of the front knee, flex the left foot. Long, straight spine. And as you breathe, deepen into the fold. And whenever you feel ready, draw the forehead toward the knee, rounding the spine. And on your next breath, walk your palms back toward your sits bones. Find your block. Place it underneath that left cheek. Flexing the left foot, lift from heart center and the crown of your head, and then begin to walk forward. So again, your choice, you can use the strap, you can clasp at your foot, or let your hands rest on the earth. We'll start with a straight spine first. Whenever you feel ready, round towards your knee. On your next breath, rise back up. Make your way to your low lunge. And on your way there, move the props out of your way. So again, we'll lift the back toes, bring the back knee up off the mat, root into the palms, and step the left foot straight back to downward facing dog. This time we're gonna lift the heels up off the mat, take a deep bend into the knees, and bring the chest into the thighs. Take a deep breath here to prepare. On the exhale, send the tailbone as high as you can. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And then begin to take the bend out of your knees as you draw your heels down to the mat. Really waking up the hamstrings, saying hello to those muscles. I'm gonna walk our way up toward our palms, coming into a forward fold. We're gonna do the same thing here. So bring the palms around to the backside of the heels and cup your heels with your fingers. And bring the thumbs to the outside edges of your feet. And again, deep bend in the knees, bring the chest into the thighs. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And then on your exhale, lift from the tailbone. Keep the chest and thighs connected. Bring the crown of your head toward the earth as you bring the bend out of your knees. So again, maybe this feels really, really good on your body. You can stay here as long as you'd like. Maybe it feels a little uncomfortable. Those muscles need a little extra attention. Let me hold for a few more rounds of breath. Whenever you feel ready, plant the palms. Bring the knees down to the earth. And come back to your seated posture. Well, that is what I have for you today for hamstring stretching. It's been an honor to guide you all today. Namaste.